Via satellite from Hollywood, this is Rockline, the show that lets you interview the biggest names in rock and roll. How you doing? I'm Steve Downs. Rockline is brought to you by the Action Pack. 52 weeks of original action adventures on TV. Not what you're supposed to watch, what you really want to watch. By Sears, you can count on me, Sears, Roebuck and Company. And by Dentyne, we'll take care of your breath. The rest is up to you. Tonight, Rockline is very pleased to kick off 1994 by giving you the opportunity to speak directly with one of the biggest bands in the world, Guns N' Roses. So get your questions ready for Axl Rose and Slash from the band, and call us toll-free at 1-800-344-ROCK. That's 1-800-344-7625, one number toll-free from anywhere in the United States and Canada. And it is appropriate that our first Rockline show of 1994 be with a band that has dominated this decade, Guns N' Roses. Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 have collectively sold over 27 million copies and counting. Their subsequent tour, the longest ever undertaken by a rock band, was seen by over 7 million people worldwide. The new entree to the Gunners menu is the Spaghetti Incident, a collection of some of the band's favorite songs emanating from such diverse sources as 50s doo-wop to punk to a little bit of Seattle grunge. Mix in equal parts GNR fun and attitude, stir vigorously, and you have the Spaghetti Incident. And Rockline is thrilled to kick off the new year with, from Guns N' Roses, Axl Rose. Axl, good to have you.
What's happening?
Not much, man. And Slash, fresh from a invigorating game of pinball, I understand.
Yeah, something like that.
It's somewhat of a rarity, I guess, to actually have the both of you in the same place at the same time.
I don't know what's the last year that this
I know.
ever
Someone asked me, you guys are both going to be on the radio, and I was like, yeah, it's been a couple years since the last time that we did an interview together.
And Axl, you were telling me that when you guys write, it's actually done over the phone.
The majority of things are done on the phone until we actually get in the studio. A lot of things are done over the phone and sending tapes back and forth, and we've done this for years.
And just I just delivered my last tape to Axl, my latest tape to Axl.
Yeah, just moments ago, as a matter of fact.
I've been eagerly awaiting.
Really? Well, we'll be eagerly awaiting a chance to hear it some point down the line. Tell me about the Spaghetti Incident. How did this thing come together, and what did you want to do with this?
I think the easiest way to say it wasn't supposed to be taken all that seriously in the beginning. It was some songs that it started out with some songs that we were jamming that we were going to make an EP out of, and then we started adding more songs into it, and eventually it turned into a 13-song record, which obviously is a result on the CD.
Right.
We had an idea of this going into the first album, that there were some songs, what we called punk to us or whatever, that we wanted to record a long time ago, that we wanted people to hear, that we liked a lot. And there's songs that Izzy and I liked, there's songs that Slash and I liked, there's songs that Duff and Izzy liked, and things like that. And then it turned into, we had a collection over about 9 years of over 10 songs that we really liked, and we realized we could make an album instead of just a little EP and throw out there.
Would you say that what is on the Spaghetti Incident is fairly representative of what the influences were to Guns N' Roses in the early days?
It's just a couple. I mean, it's a drop in the bucket. Yeah.
Some, but the energy of the songs and stuff. But it's some of the influences that I don't think mainstream radio and a lot of Midwest and things like that, people haven't really heard these songs.
Right. The funny thing about it, though, is that when we started doing this, it was just to alleviate the pressure of making the Illusions records.
Really?
I mean, really, when it comes down to it, we were jamming stuff in the studio on off time, and that's how it started.
And I was going, well, jam on these songs, kind of trying to steer it into a project for later.
The first song we're going to play tonight is Hair of the Dog, which I guess was part of the early GNR repertoire, right?
Actually, that goes back to Hollywood Rose.
Yeah, we played it only a few times, a very long time ago. And when we were in the studio finishing up the recording of the song, Slash is going, this is cool, because he's the one that brought it to our attention to do it for this album. And Duff reminded him, he goes, remember the old days, this was cool? And Duff reminds him, you hated this song. You hated it twice. And Slash goes, oh, yeah. Which was very strange when he brought it to us. We got to do this song. It's like, You hated it. I was confused for months.
A little Hair of the Dog That Bit Ya, Guns N' Roses on Rockline. Just a little tip of the hat there to Day Tripper at the end there. That's Hair of the Dog, of course, originally done by Nazareth. That time around, Guns N' Roses on the brand new album, The Spaghetti Incident. We're just getting started on a full 90 minutes with the members of Guns N' Roses tonight. Don't miss your chance to interview the band. Get on the phone right now. 90 whole minutes. Our toll-free, they'll go by quickly.
Going in.
Our toll-free AT&T number, 1-800-344-ROCK. That's 1-800-344-7625. Rockline and AT&T, we help put your world within reach. We're back. Just getting underway with a full 90 minutes with Axl Rose and Slash from Guns N' Roses. The phones are lit up, so let's get to them right now. We're going to take our first stop at Muscatine, Iowa. Beth is listening to us on 97X in Davenport. Beth, you're on with Axl and Slash.
Hi, Axl. Hi, Slash. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. I'd like to know what it was about punk that influenced or attracted you. You know, was it the scene or the sound? And also, you guys have been credited so many times with breathing new life back into rock and roll. And with the success of the new CD doing covers of old punk and old-time metal or rock and roll, do you feel you're helping metal make a comeback, but more importantly, are you helping punk come back?
The main thing, we didn't do what we call a punk comeback or anything like that. We just took a bunch of songs which I thought and the rest of the guys thought represented where we came from and had a certain amount of attitude. I mean, punk didn't last
energy
all that long. It's all about a vibe and about a certain attitude directed towards, I don't know, it's the way that the band plays, and there's a lot of different types of music that forms the way that we sound. So that's really what it was all about.
Thanks, Beth, for the call. Jan is in...
That was short.
It got to the point. I'm not sure metal needs a comeback at this point.
It has nothing to do with that.
It's the
just like we like the energy and the defiance that punk rock had, and that it didn't really hit the mainstream all that much, and we are, whether we like it or not, in some ways in the mainstream, so we got to bring certain songs to people's attention.
Yeah.
For me, it was like some of those songs I liked, I got ridiculed and criticized for at the times that those songs were out.
Right.
So it was kind of like, well, now maybe some of those people will listen to it.
It's a crime that a lot of the bands that we did cover and other bands that we didn't cover, that if we had all the time in the world to do, didn't, they're almost forgotten now. I mean, completely. You know, out of print, out of mind.
Just said we wanted to call the record Pension Fund, because we were kind of helping these guys pay some rent.
There you go.
Yeah, Cheetah Chrome's happy.
Yeah.
We're going to go to Louisville, Kentucky now. Jan is on 95.7 WQMF in Louisville. Jan, you're on with Guns N' Roses.
Hi, Axl. Hi, Slash. How you doing?
Hi.
Doing great.
Great. Over the years, you've taken a lot of criticism over some music. And now, all of a sudden, I'm hearing a lot of empathy coming out over the last couple of years. Like this new video I just recently saw with the whales and the dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Thank you. And, yeah, in some areas there is a different vibe coming, and that's really nice.
Are you going to keep going that way?
What, trying to get people to like us, but still doing what we want? Sure.
Keep progressing. The criticism will stop, and they will understand, that the music is for what you make it.
The twain don't often meet on the same ground. We'll always do what we want, because otherwise we'll get seriously bored, and the critics will always have something bad to say about it. And it goes with the territory, so we've just gotten used to it. As long as it doesn't affect what we do as a band, then we're fine.
I think there's a level of people out there, the so-called moral majority and things like that, that will always have a problem with us in certain things in the media, but then again, those people can be won over in other ways, and maybe that'll happen. I guess it depends on how politically correct we are with our uncorrectness.
Yeah, where do we fit in?
Jan, thanks for the call. We're going to go from Louisville to Augusta, Georgia. Carl's on 96 RXR in Augusta. Carl, you're on Rockline with Guns N' Roses.
Axl Slash, it's great to talk to you.
Hey.
Okay, you have such an incredible sound when you're live. I'd like to know, when do you plan on releasing a full-length live album?
We recorded every single show we did, and there is we've talked for a long time about compiling something out of that. I have no idea. I mean, then again, it could sound like crap. We don't know. We haven't had the time to go back and listen to everything yet. But
basically, we're just waiting to find somebody who has the patience to sift through it.
We'd like to make a movie. We filmed everything that we did on the road for the last few years, and we'd like to make a documentary movie and put out a soundtrack to that.
Oh, that'd be hot. We're gonna, Carl, thanks for the call. We're gonna play another track now from the new album, The Spaghetti Incident. This is the Steve Jones Sex Pistols tune, Black Leather. A caller earlier was talking about punk and the fact that this album is certainly shedding new light on that era again. And most people think of the Sex Pistols as being sort of the star of the era,
right,
if you will.
Like I said, the whole punk thing, there was only a handful of bands that were what you'd call really good rock and roll bands. And as far as the style of music goes, it doesn't really matter. It was like a real